Hi everybody, this video will be to teach you how to do a pole stall maneuver. Now, to do a pole stall maneuver, for those that don't know what a pole stall maneuver is, I'm going to show it to you in case you haven't seen the trailer of Ace Combat 7 pole stall maneuver. This is basically a pole stall maneuver. You could also do it like this, just a second. You could also do it like this. You could also do a 180-degree turn if you want. You know, like this, more or less a 180-degree turn, basically just to face backward. So yeah, first of all, you can't do this move with every plane in the game. Only some of them can do the move. And even for the planes that can do the move, there's some of those planes that can't do like a full rotation, and by that I mean you can't do this move with the other ones that you can do the pole stall maneuver, but you can't do a full circle. Instead, what you're going to be doing with those planes that you can't do a full circle, because if you try and do a full circle, you're going to be stalling. But if you want to do the move without stalling, you're basically going to be doing it, you know, like this. So basically, this move is used for, let's say you're in a dogfight, you're being chased, and he's close enough behind you, like the other jet. You do this move, he should fly past you, and then you end up behind him, you know, like in Top Gun, pretty much. So yeah, that's one use for it, and whatever else you want to do with this move is up to your imagination. So yeah, so to do this move, first, you're gonna want to make sure you're under 500. Doesn't matter about how much. You could be close to stalling. You can still do the move. As long as you're not stalling and that you're under 500, you can do the move. Now, what you're gonna want to press to do the move, you're gonna want to press the acceleration and the brake at the same time. You hold them, and then you pull up. Or you pull down on the analog to make your plane go up like this. That's what I mean by up. Like you pull up, basically. Obviously that wasn't the move. It's just to be more specific on what I mean. But yeah, you're gonna have it like that. And you know you have the move when you see it. Like if the camera is not following you like that, and that it just stays fixed, like looking in front and just watching the plane doing its thing, then you know you've done the move properly. You know, the camera's just gonna stay like that. Alright, now, to go more specifically in details for this move, when you press the acceleration and brake, and then you hold and then you pull up like this, when you do that, you want to make sure that you're not already using your analog, the same one that you use to pull up the plane. You want to make sure that you're not already using it, and that you're not using it at the same time. Like, don't do it at the same time. Like, you don't pull up at the same time that you're doing acceleration and brake. You do it after you press acceleration and brake. So basically, you could do it in the turn if you want, but you have to make sure that you release the acceleration. I mean, not the acceleration, but the analog. You know, like this. You could still, you know, kind of do your turn and do the move. So yeah, make sure that you're not moving your plane up or down. It doesn't matter if you're rotating, it won't stop the move. It doesn't matter if you're going like to the side like this with the yaw. If you're using expert control, it's R1 L1. It doesn't matter if you're holding like those kind of direction thing, whatever, for the plane, while you're pressing the acceleration and brake at the same time. It won't stop the move. But yeah, basically if you don't release the analog that you use to go up or down with the plane, it's basically just gonna go in a high G turn, you know, like this, and then you're gonna stall very fast. Now, the next thing, when you see the move that's happening in front of you, you want to make sure that you release the brake. When you see it happening, release the brake. Keep the acceleration. You can keep pulling up your plane to do a full circle if you want, if that's what you want to do, if the plane allows you to do this, depending on the plane that can do it. You can do a full rotation if you want, or else just stop, like release the analog wherever you want to come out of the move. But yeah, so make sure you keep the acceleration, but that you release the brake when you're doing the move, or else you're gonna be stalling. So for example, if you hold everything down, it's gonna look like this. You don't want this to happen. So for it not to be stalling, make sure you release the brake when you see the move happening in front of you, and that you're holding the acceleration. And if you want to keep doing the rotation, like a full rotation, you know, just keep pulling down on the stick to have your jet going up like this non-stop. And then the next thing, if you want to do the other one, for example the FA-18, if you want to do it, wait just a second, I kind of messed up that one. If you want to do it like this, basically what you want to do is that you're going to want to keep pulling down on the stick to have the nose come up to around 90 degrees up. When you see the nose that's, you know, facing up, then you pull forward on the analog so it goes down like this, but when you're in the move, so basically it's just going to bring the nose of your plane facing forward. And then you release the analog when the plane is facing forward, or else it's not gonna keep going like in front where you want to go. You're gonna basically come out more like around facing the ground if you keep pulling the nose down of your plane during the move. So yeah, just remember, you can release the analog whenever you want to come out of the move. So keep that in mind. Alright, so one last thing, you can do the move sideways, like I like to call it. You can do the move upside down like this. You can do the move facing up, and just for the sake of the argument, I'm gonna show it to you guys. There you go, I just did it facing up. You can also do it facing down. It doesn't matter where you're facing, as long as you're within the speed limits and that you're, you know, not moving up or down with the analog, and then you do acceleration brake, and then you pull up on the analog. Now again, quick recap. You have to be under 500, doesn't matter about how much, as long as you're not stalling. And then you release the analog before pressing acceleration brake. You press the acceleration and brake at the same time. You hold them, you have about a second to pull up the nose of your plane, and then the move will happen. When you see the move happening, release the brake. Just make sure you keep the acceleration so you don't stall. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the move. And also, one last thing, make sure you're not too close to the ground, or else you're gonna actually stall a little bit. For example, if you're at 200 altitude, you're gonna be very close to crash, because it's, even if you do it right, it's gonna make you stall a little bit, and it's gonna get you closer to the ground. So yeah, just make sure you're not too close to the ground. So yeah, that was it. I hope it was helpful for you guys and not too confusing. And yeah, have fun trying to master the move. And good luck.